Okay, I'm allegedly live. So, I'm a big brain person, and had not apparently managed to put the 2 and 2 together of all of these bits that are still locked. Okay, right, let me just go back. Right, settings. Re-enable. Yeah? Okay, one sec. Yep. Well, this worked the last time. It worked when I did it, and I assumed it would have saved it. So, oopsie doopsie. Let's just get all of that done, because, yep. There we go. Right. So I went, oh, why can't I access these? And now I can. I think I saw it on either Facebook or Twitter. I forget which one. And someone's like, oh yeah, there's a glitch over this, and I'm going, those exist? I didn't know about any of this. So yeah, so if you have the Dovetail Live thing, it means you can access all of these. Now I don't know what this does. Ah, no, it's all. Diesel. Complete a story mission or timetable thing. As... One second. Having a text conversation right now is obviously the best thing to do. So, drive Diesel. Complete a story mission or timetable mission as Diesel. Okay. Yeah, I've done a lot of this stuff. So, we're gonna go do a Diesel mission, because I can. Timetables. Diesel. Right, what's Smith? Quick. I've only got about an hour, because I plan to watch Stamford Bridge at 8. If you don't know what that is, probably for the best. Not because it's bad or anything, just because, you know, that's like me going, I'm gonna watch the Blaming. You know, it's not relevant. It's more just it's gonna start, and I'm gonna wanna do that. Now, what was... Okay, let's do something for 19 minutes, it says. Let's see how that goes. So, what have I been doing this week? It's been a few days since I've streamed, I think. I don't remember. I probably should have checked. This seems like the kind of information I should, you know about. Now, I've done a lot of work today. I'm going to go over that. Right, we have got Diesel. And I need to go over there. So. Brain. Get there eventually. Yes, I've done quite a lot of work today. So I got 3 orders posted. Admittedly, 2 of them were ready yesterday, but I wasn't, so yeah. And the other one I finished off and got that posted. I've got 2 more orders that are in the process of, well, the last components are on my desk ready to get sorted out. What are we doing next? What are we doing, Diesel? Doing anything fun? Uncouple. Okay, we're going forwards then. Why are we only taking 2 wagons at a time? Like, we could take the whole string of wagons unless there's a shunt limit issue. Probably a shunt limit issue. Yeah, so I've got 2 more orders. Well, one is finishing, like I'm watching the last print happen next to me. I've got all the buffers that need the springs putting in, and then that'll be that done. It's one of the things, it's a lot of backwards and forwards, so while the loco is moving, I can do that. Right, so yeah, so I've got 6 wagons posting out tomorrow. Yeah, and then my normal sort of weekend thing will be, I think I'm at the club Saturday. There's an event going on and I want to run some stuff, so it's a nice, convenient, you know, do both. I'm going to travel reasonably light, he says, lying to himself. I'm tempted to take my Daisy, which means I need to get Daisy's face sorted, because otherwise it's just a bubble car. And I've got a face, I just need to measure up correctly, get it printed, get it painted. Job done. Yeah, no, I've got 3 vans. 2 are currently in drying primer, the other one is partially in primer. 2 of them are from the Quorn Wagon and Wagon van collection. The 3rd one isn't, because it's an as-built one, and I don't believe they have an as-built example of that species. Also, one of them's a bit wrong because I didn't think to put the correct axle boxes on, and I'm honestly questioning, do I just chop out the current ones, put the correct ones in, and do it properly? Because it wouldn't, you know, it's not a lot of work to do it, I just hadn't, and when I built the thing, I hadn't registered that I'd done it wrong. So that was clever. It's like I don't know why I'm rushing. It's Thursday. There's loads of time. Although, on the point of rushing and loads of time, that's not actually relevant. Why am I saying words? Anyway, the magpie nest I think I mentioned previously has either sadly blown down or the people who live there have had to open their window for whatever reason. The magpie nest is not there anymore. So hopefully those magpies will find somewhere else to nest. Because that was a pretty big nest there, but then again we had really bad winds, so, I don't know. It could have been any number of things. Brain. Oh yeah, fun potential news. Now, I don't imagine any of this is particularly secretive, and if it is, whoops, and if it is, I'm amazed that my audience has managed to get it. So, the Dean Forest Railway in Gloucestershire? Question mark? The south west, near Wales, are looking to dispose of 2 of their mineral wagons. And by dispose of, find them a new home. They're not just gonna, like, you know, shred them for fun. It's a technical term, legal? I don't know. Either way, disposal in the sense of move them on to somewhere new. Now, the Great Central Railway's coal wagon group have been offered them. Now, whether the railway that they're going to be on will accept them is another question, obviously, because yes, they're only 20 foot long each, however 40 foot of siding space and then the funding to restore them and maintain them and everything is not, you know, nothing. So that's a thing that we are hopefully going to get some news on soon. This seems somewhat pertinent, given that this is essentially what these wagons are, although these are the older wooden type. Although I say older, it's that thing of some of those wagons are 80 years old. And they're the new ones that we've got. There are newer ones that were... I don't know if any of them actually made into preservation. I think one of them has, but only as a sort of static exhibit. The 1990s or early 2000s. Either way, the Frau built, or Frau built 100-ton coal hoppers. But, no. There's 2 at Dean Forest. Now, I've found which ones they are. Yeah, I guess that works too, okay, of moving them down the line. So I've had a look into them. There are only 2 on the railway, which narrows it down. They are both push brake conversions, which is the simpler of the 2. They're both in a bit of a state, but, you know, nothing too severe wrong by the look of it. You know, not a, oh, put some paint on it, get it running type job, but I have offered to go and do a survey of both of them, mainly because I want to. And I may be going and doing that with a trip also going to the Pontypool and Blaenavon Railway, where there are 7 or 8 more of those wagons, because if it isn't painfully obvious by this point, I quite like wagons. Bonk. So, yeah, I'm going to hopefully find out soon about that, because even if if the railway doesn't want them, one of the options we've got is potentially to have them for spares, in that we won't keep the wagon as a wagon, we'll chop it up, or if it's in better condition than some of the others we've got, it might be that it replaces them. It's a find out situation. Either way, I plan to go and document the 10 or so wagons down that part of the country if I have the option to, and that should be a nice fun day out for me. Because yeah, nothing says fun day out like going and surveying old bits of metal. I'm not even joking, you should see my face right now. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it. Mainly because it will give me an opportunity to build quite a few more wagons. As if I need that opportunity, obviously, but so I'm just gonna move this one that I'm in danger of knocking over. Ah, the one in front of me actually, 571604, is a equivalent wagon. So I've got some of the details for the two of them, although I've closed the document. They're both 1956 built, so they're only 70 years old, these ones. They're youngsters by comparison. Probably overhauled in the 70s to give them vacuum brakes. One is built by Pickerings, the other one I believe is a pressed steel example. I say both which are vacuum push brake, which is essentially, if I trickle this to a stop in the right place, that's not right either, never mind. If we look in down here, basically you can't see it, never mind. I will try some reference later if I can see something useful. The brain. One of them looks to be missing a tie bar, one of them appears to have some damage to its end, but it's minor, like nothing's missing other than that tie bar. And a tie bar is essentially a big length of angle iron. I'm sure we can fabricate a new one. If the wheel sets are good, that's going to be the main one. Because that will mean that either the wagons, or their wheel sets at least, will live on in some format. It is unlikely that any other railway would want to take them on, purely because they're a couple of quite rusty, quite knackered wagons. So it may be that if they don't get taken, they might be disposed of, but the other option is there's a very slim potential they might go into private ownership. I'm not seriously considering it, however, it is a consideration. I would have to talk to lots of people to go, hey, what sort of cost, what sort of rent for storing them would I be looking at? All those fun questions. But, yeah. It would be an interesting one. You know, I've already offered to my various contacts at the railway of, you know, I am happy to donate some towards the transport, restoration, purchase cost, whatever sort of thing. Because I like coal trucks. They're fun. And by fun, you know, I like watching them go past. Which is why I have about 30 of them in model form that are all unique little custom ones, and I've got loads more I need to do, because at the moment my list goes up to, I think, 44 wagons, plus the more I want to go and bag at some point. So I want to get down to Chasewater and survey all the ones they've got there. It's the Rocks by Rail Ironstone Museum, I think in Northamptonshire. I want to get there sometime. I need to find out where more of them are. I'm not sure if there's any. I don't think there's any on the Severn Valley. It doesn't seem like the kind of place they're in, but there might be some at the Midland Railway Butterley, there might be some at Battlefield Line. In case places that got good stock. Although a lot of places have the much older stuff, because, you know, a lot of these places started in the sort of 50s, 60s, 70s, and a wagon from 1956 was, you know, not really interesting, relevant, whatever you want to call it. You know, that'd be about like going, oh yeah, we're starting a car museum. It's going to have a 2016 Ford Fiesta in it. It's not really going to get that many people interested. Versus if you go, oh, we're going to start a car museum. We're going to have a 1976. No, it's probably not that early. You know, like 1980s Ford Fiesta. I'm showing my knowledge of cars terribly. My uncle had one, literally until it died. Lovely little car. I think it's a red one. My mother has had 3 Ford Fiestas, I think. And I learned to drive in one. Turbo diesel, 1.6. Oh, lovely thing. It was so nice. You'd press the accelerator to pull away from a junction, and you just did. Didn't matter what the road conditions were like. You just went. And now I look at the price. Last time I saw the price of diesel, I think it was like $1.93 a litre, and I've seen it as high as £2. So yeah. Right then, so that's the first diesel mission. Oh, stop at, not go by. I don't know, it's more just the I'm very used to them. They're slightly more reliable in my mind than the Vauxhall Corsa that my mum had 2 of. The first one got sandwiched at a set of traffic lights. That was not a dignified end for it. And the second one had a fault in its onboard computer, and it just kept flooding the engine. So, if you stopped, it would sometimes just not start again. Because it basically it's not that the accelerator stayed open, it was that the fuel pump stayed open, but without changing any of the regulatory things. So it just filled the engine with petrol until it stalled. I'm not quite sure how that relates to the accelerator, but it was the... Oh, how is that a question I've not had to come across before? It's the, you know, the accelerator makes the car go faster by doing various things. It doesn't just put more fuel in. Right, I'm going to go back to the main menu and see what progress we've got on that challenge, because that's what I'm here for. Challenges! Diesel! Drive as Diesel. Complete a story or timetable mission as Diesel. I just did that. What? Aw, I did the thing. Game, I just did the thing. That's rude. Do I have to, like, click them? Something? Okay, so complete a story mission or timetable mission. What story missions does Diesel have? Those are Percy missions. Thomas mission. I'm gonna sneeze. Ugh, I saw that red line. Hopefully that wasn't too horrific to hear. Right, timber sheds. Alright, I don't know how long this mission's going to take, but I've got until the hour, so I've got about 54 minutes.
Branching out. It was a busy time on the railway, and all of the engines were working hard. Except poor Thomas. He was feeling unwell.
You should go to the steamworks for a while, said Sir Topham Hatt. They'll have you fixed up and feeling better in no time.
As Emily came and took Thomas away to be repaired, Sir Topham Hatt wondered who else he could get to take Thomas's passengers. suddenly, Diesel pulled into the yard with a
I
tray.
mean, I don't think Diesel can do anything suddenly.
Looked
He's
at
very
him
slow.
and smiled. Ah, Diesel. Just the engine I wanted to see. Diesel looked a little nervous. Sir Topham Hatt usually only wanted to see him if he was in trouble. Good morning, sir, said Diesel nervously. Did you need me for something? Yes, indeed I do, smiled Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas is not feeling well, and Emily has taken him to the steamworks to be repaired. So I need a really useful engine to help with taking the passengers on the branch line.
That's right, Diesel. I need you to go and find Percy.
But sir, he protested, I'm only a shunting engine. I've never really pulled passengers before. Don't worry, Diesel, Sir Topham Hatt reassured him. I'm confident you'll manage just fine. And I'm sure that Annie and Clarabelle will be glad to show you what to do. Just remember, you need to be on your best behavior today. I don't want to hear from the passengers that you've been causing trouble. But sir, I can't take Annie and Clarabelle. They're Thomas's coaches, and they don't like
Just
me.
take some regular coaches. There's four sitting behind you.
Be fine, smiled
Is that James behind Sir Topham Hatt?
Along and collect Annie and Clarabelle. They should be waiting for you in the sidings.
No.
Oh, why do I have to take passengers? Maybe, he thought, Sir Topham Hatt chose me because I am the best engine for the job.
So, I don't like to talk over the cutscenes because people, you know, watch them. I kind of want to get a load more work done. Not like right now, obviously, but so I kind of want to find a better color match for these brake vans because I tried it in the way I normally paint teak, and it didn't work very well. So I need to repaint it basically, which isn't ideal. And I'm thinking I might just try to do a brush paint rather than a like an ink wash. As I can't remember what colour I used. I think I used Devil and Mud. It's not called Devil and Mud anymore. I use Snakebite Leather and it's gone much too dark. And it just looks kind of messy. Hey look, there's Percy. Why isn't Percy doing this? Percy is literally a branch line engine. I see you there, Percy. Brain. But yeah, what is HEP in this context? Because Diesel's got the train pipes for vacuum brakes and stuff, as it's on the left side. I don't believe there's train heat. Well, Diesel's a shunting engine. He's just sort of exists. Primarily for 15 miles an hour top speed, pulling heavy things, not particularly fast. You could use them on passenger services, but they lack any form of train heating, so you couldn't really do it in the winter. How is Diesel supposed to connect for head end power? I mean, he's got couplings, you know, got all the stuff. Oh, head end power in the sense of electric. So, ETH is the UK system for that. Electric train heat, I think it is.
Oh no, Clarabelle. It's that devious Diesel. surely, replied Clarabel. Sir Topham Hatt could have picked another engine instead of him. Perhaps he thinks I'm the best engine for the job, boasted Diesel. After all, he specifically asked me to help with the passengers while Thomas is away. I'm sure he only asked you to help as all the other engines are busy.
Shots fired.
He certainly did not. Now we need to get going. We don't want to be late after all.
Good acceleration on Diesel. So what we have in the UK mostly is... Hello, Mark. Yeah, I'm not too sure on some of the voices. Most coaches in the UK have dynamos, or at least coaching, you know, sort of... Oh, what would that be? Pre-1970-ish would have dynamos. So that as the coach goes along, it recharges the batteries for lighting. However, the train heat is provided by the locomotive, either through steam or electric heat. 08s are not rated for ETH at all, and they don't have a steam generator, so there's yeah, so can move the coaches around, no issues. Pull them around in the summer. There's no direct cooling. The words. Yeah, none of the engines on this line actually have any form of train heating equipment, at least, in terms of visible on the models. But then again, these don't have any brakes, so, you know, I'm not going to be too stringent on that one. But yeah, ETH is the one you're thinking of in the UK terms. There's the signal, platform 1. Now I could go faster, however, I've got so many speed restrictions, it's not worth it. Kind of tempted to make actual models of Annie and Clarabel. Have to see how that goes. I'd be tempted though to make them as bogey coaches, because I have a customer going, ooh, could you do me a couple of Southern bogey coaches? To which I've gone, I'll have a go. So I'm going to look through my books a bit later when I'm watching podcasts. I've got a stack of them under my desk. And I'll see what I come up. Yeah, let's see what I can come up with. 'Cause having a couple of actual dedicated Annie and Clarabels would be quite nice to go with my new Thomas that I'm going to build. And I need to build my new Thomas as well, because, you know, not like I've not got enough to do already. No, 15 miles an hour is the top speed for a 08. I think 09s can do 20 and 10s can do 25. It's quite funny watching a Class 10 zipping around. Okay.
All aboard. We need to hurry and get moving.
Well, man in hat.
There's no need to rush, Diesel, said Annie. We still have plenty of time.
Load passengers. We have one passenger. Yep. Lock doors. Must resist Gollum game memes.
Remember, said Clarabel, you need to pull away gently to not startle the passengers.
I can only accelerate hard. Get off my back. You're not heavy enough to slow me down. But yes, no, in the Gollum game, if anyone has seen any of the playthrough of that, the orcs have a very interesting pronunciation of the Fortress of Lugburs, which sounds quite different when they say it. I think it's Lugburs. It's a while since I've read the book, but I know enough of it to know that that's what it's meant to be, or something like that. Which I believe means the Dark Tower or the Black Tower or something like that. It's the Fortress of Barad-dûr. Alright, that's really opened the taps now. I can do a top speed of actually quite fast. Not going to get up to 50, but you know. Part of me goes, I could make an actual model of Annie and Clarabelle as they are, and it would upset me. Because they've got nothing. No train pipes, no dynamos, no lighting. Like, look how dark it is in there. They've got luggage racks, but that's it. Yeah, Brain, I need to message you later, Mark, see what if you were going to be doing at the weekend, because I've said I'll do Saturday. And I was going to take some stuff down to run inside, but if there's enough of us, it'd be kind of nice to run outside. But I'm also lazy, so, you know. If I do run outside, I'm going to get some video, because that seems like a good idea for my, you know, being active right now.
Diesel, you'll need to remember to slow down as you approach the station. You mustn't bump the coaches, especially if they have passengers on board.
It's like having an annoying sat-nav. I know that, like... I'm trying to remember what sort of vintage these coaches are, because they're four-wheelers, which implies late 1800s. Probably 1880s, 1890s sort of territory. I think that's about when they stopped building new four-wheel coaches. Okay. I could maybe do both days. I'm not sure if I have the energy to do that, and I've got stuff I kind of want to be doing, but... As I've said, I'll do Saturday. I'll see how I am for Sunday, I guess.
Aboard.
But no, I've got some more vans I want to run, but so far I'm looking at having 2 of them being MOD ones. Probably the earlier MOD livery. And they can also pass as engineers vans that way.
Off we go again.
I'm used to the timetable ones where they've got the what's it called? Keep the doors open for a set amount of time. Brain. But yeah, no, it'd be nice to try do some sort of more general running and not the Easter stuff. Not that the Easter stuff wasn't fun, just that's understandable. I think Chris said he'd be down both days, but it depends on which one's got the better weather. And if it's going to be one day, then yeah, do that one. You know, no question. I'm debating, as I've just uncovered one from the pile of junk on my desk, making another Vanva face. I think I've got at least one more kit that I could build that way. And I'm thinking I might go with a green van, because I've got 2 grey ones. Oh, that's a speed restriction. I say, because as much as I would like to try and get more done at my weekends, at the moment, while the weather's good and we are trying to get the building painted, I might try and do both days. It's, decisions. Also, I got my report for my scan I had last week, so I need to read that later. But in theory, I should be fine for doing all that kind of stuff. In fact, I believe it's encouraged at this point. Yeah. Load passengers. Wait till the bar fills up. The bar is time, not passengers. Honk. Good acceleration for diesel, which is nice. Brain. So I've got one more print to do for another customer job. And then I'm on kind of free roam for a bit until I get either more orders or I get more drawing done. Which does beg the question, now what? As I'm tempted, as I'm on a bit of a roll of it, to work on more of the corn wagon and wagon van train for now. But again, it comes back to the eternal problem of, okay, but where do I run them, where do I keep them? As... well... where do I run them? Where do I keep them? Because I've already got my oil tank set of the corn ones, I've got my GC mineral set. If I add a van train to that, I've then got 3 different big goods trains that can't really run that often. As if I'm the only person bringing stuff, that normally implies I'm not running outside. And if I'm not, if someone else is there, then... well, the obvious one of they'll want to bring stuff. Decisions. Also, I've just noticed the doors open in opposite directions, and that I don't know how I feel about that.
Hurry up, please. We don't want to be late.
Normally, all the doors open one way.
Just then, one of the passengers approached Diesel.
And left again.
"Thank you, Diesel," they said. Diesel looked surprised. He wasn't sure what to say. "You're very welcome."
So,
Wow. Someone was grateful for my help. "You see," said Annie, "passengers appreciate an engine who looks after them and pulls their train well." Diesel thought about this. "Maybe you're right," he said. "Maybe I can pull passengers after all."
we, lock doors. No, so one of the things I need to remember to do, it's not so much a, oh, I need to remember to do it, it's more the I need to get around to doing it, is I need to paint up my diesel that I've gotten recently, and fix it as well. Cab glazing fell out. Not the worst thing, but enough to make it apparently like half the price it normally would be. So, oh no, the cab glazing fell out. Anyway, get that painted up. So I'm thinking one side, as is my usual thing, I will have just plain black. The other side I will have with the probably the D number. Although I might go for a tops number, I'm not certain. As somewhere there is an established list of, or at least a reasonably well established list of all of the tops numbers for the Northwestern Railway locos. For all the ones that would or would need to run on network rail metals. So anything that goes to Barrow, basically. So that might be an interesting one, because I can't remember the exact number that diesel is, but I know that they've got tops numbers for all the steam engines, which normally start 98 something. So I believe Gordon is, I think, a 7p. So Gordon would be 98,701. I know that Toby and Percy are in the awkward category of BR have other small locomotives in their size class, so they wouldn't necessarily be 0 or 1 coded, and I forget the exact detail, but there is a list somewhere. I will have to find it. Also, I guess on the note of I've actually been doing stuff, I have been slowly working through my 40-ton hopper collection. I've now got 2 painted, and that doesn't sound particularly much, but given it's doing all the little detailing and sign writing, having a walrus and a sea lion is quite nice. Both of them are quite ancient kits. The walrus had a pretty nasty gravity-related accident, I believe, at some point, which I hear is referred to as a ground fault, which always amuses me. That's a lot of vans at Maythwaite. Interesting. So that one had a bit more of a rebuild. The Sea Lion was mostly fine, so that's just had a bit of a tidy up. I have another Sea Lion on my desk that needs the work finishing, and I've got bits I'm going to work on. Essentially, it's something that I want to do when I'm not actively trying to work. Mainly because if I need new printed parts making, then I need to, well, make them. And if all the printers are busy doing proper work, then that don't work in a timely fashion. In theory, it should just need new buffers, new handrails, and I think that's it for this one. Let's have a look. As it is here, and I've got to wait for passengers, new bogies as well. So new bogies, new handrails, coat of paint, finish it off.
On to our next stop. You're doing well, Diesel, said Annie kindly.
Hack and Beck, or presumably the Beck of Hacken. Trying to pay attention to the whistle boards. You don't get any points for it, but you know, it's a thing. There is Mrs. Kindly's cottage. Ba ba da ba, ba ba da ba. Yeah, Diesel's not got a particularly high top speed. I think it was this tunnel once where I got out to try and pin my brakes down in readiness for heading up to Farquhar, and my train just left without me. As in, it just rolled down the hill. So that was a fun thing. Apparently there was a I'm guessing there's a handbrake in this. That looks kind of ominous. Hi. Anyway. I don't know if there's a handbrake option. I've not found it. I'm using basic controls, not the big brain controls. Because I'm a filthy casual. But I'm having a nice time. Brain. So now I've got a load more of those hoppers to do, because I've got... Let's have a quick count. Well, I've got 400 yards left. Let's keep an eye on that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... I'll say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... I think I've got 12 of the 40-ton hoppers in some state of mostly finished. And, oh, I can count. It's about 14 of those hoppers. I massively overshot that. Is there one there? Or is that a... There's an SPA loaded with coils, so it's not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I've got at least 11. in the
One stop to go,
needing,
Diesel, said Clarabelle. Then
finishing
we'll
off,
pull your
detailing,
first
sign
passenger
writing,
train.
making nicer mostly. And then I've got a few more to build. Because I quite like them, and I've been building them for many years. As a result, I have too many to have them all done nicely in the timescale. Yeah, not that I have too many to do in the timescale I've had available, but I've not done them in the timescale so far, and I've got, well, it's 4 sea cows, 3 walrus, and the rest will be sea cows or sea lions, but the other type. So, in theory, as long as they're YGB sea cows, they can all run together as a vacuum-fitted set, but they can't run as an air-only set because the walrus don't have through pipes. What exciting things. Slowing down a bit preemptively, but I don't have a timetable. It'll be fine. I don't know why the water tower is so far away. You'd think it'd be on the platform. Or between the tracks and have like a bit of space. Hey, bang on.
Diesel soon reached Farquhar, the top station of Thomas's branch line. He felt rather pleased with himself. Suddenly, he noticed Sir Topham Hatt walking towards him.
Does Topham Hatt not have better things to do other than race one of his own trains?
He thought. Maybe one of the passengers complained about me. But Sir Topham Hatt wasn't cross. He was smiling. Well done, Diesel, he said proudly. I've heard from some of your passengers that you did a good job today.
Only some, though.
Thank you, sir, said Diesel. But I did have some help. Thomas is still being repaired, so I'll need you to stay and help out for a few more days, explained Sir Topham Hatt. Do you mind? Not at all, sir, said Diesel happily. I'm sure that the 3 of us can run the branch line just fine.
Again, shots fired at Percy.
Clarabelle smiled. Perhaps they thought Diesel wasn't so devious after all.
Hooray. 55 minutes. Okay. Well, that's not how long it took. So I'm not quite sure of the timescale involved there. Yeah, it's they've had to make it an actual station. Okay, driver's diesel and get points. And it has... well, I guess the shunting ones don't count. Unlock tier 1 challenges to get the reward. Interesting. So that's a diesel one, I'm guessing? Yeah. Alright. Can I do another diesel mission in the time I've got? I have got 24 minutes. Diesel. Alright, what's one I haven't done yet? 19 minutes. Diesel heads back to the quarry. Let's go! Most exciting mission, drive for 19 minutes. But yeah, no, my wagons I've made have been quite well received so far. I'm tempted to do a couple of the... I say a couple. This is the dangerous thing. It is too easy for me to make wagons now, because there's a lovely gentleman who I pay not that much money per wheel set, and he will send me a box of 30 of them, and these are ostensibly for customers. However, they're here next to me, and I could just build wagons until I run out of wheels, and then have to buy more. I could build some more wagons, enough to populate, you know, a reasonably sized train. Because I've got 3 Farquhar Quarry Company ones. I've got a SC Ruffy Company ballast wagon. Although I probably should have done that one with a wooden frame rather than a metal frame, but, you know, aesthetics, laziness. Got a couple of vans, that's probably going to get to 3 vans soon. I've got 2 vans that are going to be military purpose ones to go with my war wells and war flats. I do want to build another war flat for myself. I've got a new design and it's nicer, and it's like, well, I could just do that. You know, I can just do things. I've got some corn wagon and wagon vans in the works. I've only got 1 so far, technically, but I've got 2 more not finished. And there's a whole load of other stuff that I want to do, including more tank wagons. I've got one I need to finish. It's on my desk, mocking me. I need to finish stuff. That's what I need to do. I don't need to start more projects. I've got a pile of dogfish on my desk that I built ages ago. They're painted, not very well, but they're painted. But they don't have axle boxes fitted because I didn't have wheels at the time. And now I've got wheels, and I need to build them. And I've got nothing really stopping me, I just haven't done it. So that's something on the to-do list. I've got drawings and photographs to make some new dogfish, but I don't want to do that until I've started that project, or until I'm feeling a bit more keen on getting all those done, because that's going to be a bigger project to draw, and that's not a customer job, that is a I want to do it job, so I should probably get some customer ones done first, because they pay me. I'm just looking at the stack next to me. I've got a couple of Amy Roadstone PGAs. I don't know if that's a good taupe or if it's one of the knackered ones. I normally put a cross on them if it's a knackered one, just so I can tell at a glance. It's currently used as a part store for tank wagons of some sort. I can't quite identify at a glance. I've got the bottom half of an 03. I've got brake van, I've got brake tender, another walrus, a container for 30 feet of coal. Far too much in the pile. I think there's a sturgeon in there as well somewhere. Not entirely sure. What is that chassis? There is a chassis of something in there. I need to go through it all because I want to clear my desk off because it's a right mess. And by a right mess, it's just not tidy looking, and I want to be able to find stuff more easily. I also need to get rid of printer 5 soon, hopefully. I say need to. Someone has said that they are happy to take it for me, which will mean that I will then have the space it's in available, but it also means that the space it's in needs clearing, because it's currently being used as a flat surface. Many cases. I want to build more coaches. I want to build new GC suburban coaches. I've got some American stock I need to re-wheel. I've got my old siphon. I want to make new bogies for it. Not because the current ones don't work very well, but because I could do better. But at that point, I'll build a new one and have 2. Because, you know, that's kind of what I do. I've got a couple of slip coaches that need finishing. I've got GCR 799 that needs finishing. Not 799, 793 that needs finishing. I'm not looking at these signals, I'm looking at my shelves and going, what have I got on pile? I've got a big stack of conflat peas. That is the half size and full size, or single size and double size, depending on which your viewpoint is. Container flats. I've got a stack of those to finish. I've got the parts down next to me to build a Kobo, the Metrovic one. I've got loads of stuff I should be doing. I've got loads of containers that I need to paint up and stick on container flats. Red oxide is a very popular colour for them, so that's been quite helpful because I can just paint. Yeah, spray paint a load of them red oxide, and that will cover most of the requirements. Oh. There we go. Definitely wasn't speeding. I'm told there are posters. Now, I don't know if these are in the game, if they're around the game, if they're a thing you unlock, a thing you get, find, whatever. I don't know. I've just remembered I've got my big set of tank wagons, so I'm basically just working along my shelves going, what do I need to finish? Because I don't use transfers, I do sign writing for everything. It gives them a certain charm, let's go with charm, in that all of them look a little bit unique, but all kind of the same, whereas transfers just look proper. Brain. I've got those herring that I need to redo. I've been saying I need to redo them for such a long time. It's just there's so much stuff that needs me to do good, careful work for an extended amount of time, and that's kind of difficult when I've got a lot of stuff to do. Because if I've got a load of orders in, it's different, whereas if I've not got orders in, then I can sit and go, well, until I got something to do, I can just sit and get on with it. I'm very bad at explaining how I do my job. My customers would probably not want to hear that. But, again, it really depends on how I'm feeling for stuff, because sometimes I can sit down and just draw for an entire day and not really think about it and just be like, oh, that's done now, nice. And other days I'll be like, okay, I need to draw this tiny little component, and that's all I gotta do. And I'll sit there and look at it for an hour, going, ah, no, I kind of want to just skive off and look at Twitter today. Which isn't productive. I'm aware it's not productive, and I'm trying to get better at it, and I'm trying to balance what I'm doing more. Because stuff like that is like, I'm doing this stream at 7 o'clock in the evening till about 8 because I wanted to play video games for a bit, but I didn't want it to just feel like I was slacking off, like it's me doing something relatively productive in that I'm trying to try out the challenges and see how that works, and I'm talking to the chat and I'm doing stuff. But I'm also kind of not doing stuff, because although one printer is still going, that's going to be the second van wide, except that's going to be a VEA, not a van wide, because it's going to have all the air brake parts, which I have the kit of parts for, so that's not a massive job to do. I've got the other Diagram 108 body has finished recently. Number 8 sitting there getting cold with the parts for a war flat. Like, I'm doing stuff. It just doesn't feel like I'm doing stuff, because I'm not actively doing anything. This is why my desk is covered in projects, because it's like, oh, I need to work on this, I need to work on this, and then it's not actually working on any of them. Yeah, main job will be the next few days. I want to get as much stuff as I can on number 5 built, thing, not even necessarily painted, built, put somewhere else, so that printer is clear and it can go to its new home soon. I've not got to worry about that with 6. 6 is just way up on the top of my shelves. It rests at about 6 foot eye level, so it's going to be an interesting one getting that down without moving a lot of stuff and having to not drop it. It's quite heavy. That one will hopefully be going too. That'll give me loads more space, because all the space on the top of those shelves can be used. What I'm probably going to do is stick a batten down the back so stuff can't roll off. Probably do the same at the front. And then just store coaches all along the top shelf, because I've got a load of different coaches. And like big tankers, stuff like that I can display much more efficiently by putting them on end. Because sideways works, but I need to put some battens down, because they're not going to roll off the end, because I've got bars at the ends, but The top is always a bit... Also, when I built those shelves, I had kittens in the house, and they really liked climbing on everything. So that was a whole thing I had to consider. Whereas now I don't. So I've got a lot more options, but now I need to just get on with stuff. Because yes, get on with it! Yeah, that's the thing I'm going to probably try and do tomorrow, honestly, because after I've been to the post office in the morning to drop off these 2 orders, I got nothing else to do in the day until my D&D game at like 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Yeah. Yesterday's game was 8 o'clock. So I've got no excuses not to be doing stuff. I'm going up to 40! Whoa! Diesel, are you okay? It must be downhill. I'm going to ease off though, because I need to slow down for that 20 board. Grain. So yeah, actually doing that will help, and then I'm going to get those 2 printers put out of the way downstairs, so that when they come to get collected, it's just a case of, yep, here you go. Enjoy. Rather than me having to now, is this signal lying? Will I fail it here, guys? This signal is lying to me. I don't like that signal post, because I can see that the gates are open for me, so that means the signal's probably green, but the signal isn't green, and sometimes it just does that to troll me. So, 20 miles an hour at the branch. I think there is a speed restriction the whole way, so... It's, there's no level crossings on here, which is a thing that makes me go, oh, because that was the thing in, that's the reason that this line requires Mavis, because it runs alongside the road. And Toby, of course, but this particular route up to the quarry does not have the road issues. Yeah. Oh, I need to get that big hopper done as well. There's always, I've got so much stuff I should be doing. And at the moment, it's nearly 8 o'clock at night. I don't want to be working all day, not every day. Some days, yeah, sure. But not every day. Right. I'm trying to keep under the speed limit, but it's just feathering the accelerator. See, if I was doing this properly in cab mode, I could just open the throttle enough to maintain 20, rather than having the sort of accelerate or don't option. Now, is that whistle board for the... Oh, it's a danger board. I don't quite understand this. What's it for? Like, I can understand it's a little ferry, but why? That's a lot of infrastructure for no actual purpose. Brain. I should also remember to do that thing I said I'd do ages ago. Just take all my brake vans out for a run, because I've got about 20 of them. It's from episodes from season 3. Understandable. Is there more of a purpose for it in that episode, or is it just a, you know, side track with a boat next to the main line? Yeah, I've heard that that's the title. It's more just the I don't understand the concept of having actually seen it. I'm sure I can find clips on YouTube. Yeah, brain. Oh, I forgot to take that with me. I have got so much stuff I want to be doing. I should probably go do some of it. Also, it's 52, so I'm going to finish this mission, then I'm going to end the stream there, because I've got things to be doing this evening that are definitely productive, and not me just watching podcasts, and probably doing painting. I've got 4 wagons to paint, at least, so, you know, it's not like I'm not doing anything. And I've got that yeoman... not yeoman. Oh, yeah, I've got the yeoman ones as well, to be fair. That particular one I'm looking at that says Arc on it, yeah, that's not a yeoman one, that is an Arc one. That needs sign writing. Also, I'm tempted to paint into the mustard yellow, because I've got it with a sort of ink wash, and it looks just kind of a bit icky, rather than yellow. So I think I'll just do that. That will be a job for this evening. Then that gets it off this pile and back onto the active set. As I try and run wagons that are complete, or at least cosmetic, like, yeah, the old wargaming term of battle ready, in that, you know, they've got the basics painted, they look like what they're meant to look like, they're just not finished. Does the job. So, I hope I'm at the right place and I don't need to go to another quarry. I feel like there's going to be some giant boulder following me down here sometime. Oh, I'm on a relatively flat bit. Nope, not yet. Still accelerating up the hill. Yeah. This is a nice sideline from the far too much I should be doing. But hey, I'm catching up slowly. Right, and we have almost made it back to the quarry, where I will now do more quarry-related activities in my own time. But, before I go, I will check in on how much progress I've made on that mission, and if it's a good amount, then great, I'll keep doing them until they are all complete. Hooray! 37 minutes. I don't know what the time actually works out to, because it's not quite real time. Oh, 2 challenges. A new poster for the Isle of Sodor. Oh, that's kind of cute. I kind of prefer if it was an actual illustration style, not just a screenshot, but it's good. However, it does give me ideas, because I've been trying to think of something to commission for Millhouse Lane, and I'm thinking something for the brewery might be quite nice. And having one of the locos sitting on the brewery in that style would be kind of nice. And then I'll have to pay the man. So that's me tier 2, there's tier 1, so there's various challenges that will unlock those. Okay. Now, will these posters appear in the game? That's the question. Because I don't know. Now, I can start doing these ones. So, complete 3 story missions. And I've already done that one. Nice. I might get that done sooner than later. So, I'll leave it actually on the poster mode. There we go. I hope you've all had a nice time watching. I've enjoyed that I found a load more content for the game. I've just redlined so badly. I'm sorry. I need to adjust my audio slightly. At least for OBS. I've not had any complaints through Discord. Maybe I'm just being too exuberant. Maybe that's it. Either way, I hope you've had a nice day. I'm going to go and do some more. I might play some more of this game, to be honest. I'll see how I feel. And yeah, have a nice day. And I now need to press the stop streaming button, which has